What is going on, guys, and happy new year. It is week 17, the final week. We are finally here. Regular season is over for the NFL. These are the last regular season picks and also the last episode that I will be updating you on the score. But once again, I am joined by my friend Ben. Ben, how you doing?
Hopefully we get the number 3 overall pick, so we'll see what happens. Trying to be optimistic.
So, like I just said, I am not mentioning the current scores throughout the playoffs. I mean, obviously, you guys, if you do the math, you'll probably be able to figure out who wins by the Super Bowl. But to keep some sort of suspense, I'm going to stop updating on the scores. But for the last time updating on the score, last week I was down, I think, 6 or 7.
6 or 7.
I was down 6 or 7 points on Ben. I definitely helped myself out a lot last week. It is now 162 to 159. A 3-point lead is all that is left for Ben. We are moving on to week 17. We're going to do it kind of the same way as last week. Just run through these picks and let we start with Sunday because all of the games this week are on Sunday. It's a beautiful thing that I don't have to post this until Saturday. But the New York Giants start the week hosting the Dallas Cowboys, a very important game in the NFC East. We'll get to that later. But I believe in my Giants. And like I said, when they played earlier in the season, as a Giants fan, you can't pick Dallas. So 20-17, I have the Giants beating Dallas.
Okay, this is actually very, very weird. I should pick the Giants here, but I'm not, only because, well, one, so I can get maybe a game ahead of you. But either way, I got Dallas winning this one 20-17, so just flipping the teams here with this game.
Probably the smarter decision. I honestly do think Dallas will win this game, but okay, second week of Sunday, the Buffalo Bills facing the Miami Dolphins, another important game for one of these teams, and I have the Bills winning this one 35-28 over Miami.
Yeah, I'm with you. I was tempted to pick Miami. Tua, I think, is playing, but I got Buffalo winning this one 27-21. I think they're going to try and make themselves look a little better in the playoffs heading into it.
Okay, another important game for one of these teams, the Baltimore Ravens going up against the Cincinnati Bengals, and easy one for me. I do think the Ravens get this win 30-13 over Cincinnati.
Yeah, Baltimore just looks like the better team, even though Cincy can beat up on the Steelers. Sorry, I had to do that. I got Baltimore winning this one 30-17 over Cincinnati.
Okay, Pittsburgh won the North last week. This is for the Browns' playoff hopes, and it'll be against Mason Rudolph. Let's see if we have another helmet bashing. But I didn't change it. I originally thought Ben Roethlisberger was going to play, and I made this pick. Mason Rudolph got called in. I'm keeping the pick just because Cleveland lost to the Jets. You don't pick a team that lost to the Jets. 23-20, Steelers over the Browns.
Do I make the same stupid decision, picking a team that lost to the Jets like I did with the Rams? Hell yeah, I'm a stupid person. I'm picking the Browns 27-24. I just don't think Pittsburgh's that great of a team.
Okay, not so important game. Detroit Lions going up against the Minnesota Vikings. I have 28-14 Vikings over the Lions.
Yeah, this one's really not that much importance. I got Minnesota win this one 24-10 over Detroit.
Okay, another game of little importance. The New England Patriots hosting the New York Jets. And you know what? 3 in a row. 3 in a row for the Jets.
You're
20-17 Jets over the Patriots. You're waiting for the just kidding? It ain't happening.
I just need a moment. All right, you know what? We need a montage of your hot takes at this point. But no, same for me.
There's a reason I'm down 3, boys.
No, it's because I got lucky. I got New England win this one close. I got New England 21-20. Honestly, though, I wouldn't be surprised if the Jets win because both teams aren't as good as they normally are. Well, the Jets are always terrible.
All right, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going up against the Atlanta Falcons. Important one for Tampa, so I do think they beat up on Atlanta. 35-20, kind of the benefit of the doubt for Atlanta. 35-20, Tampa over Atlanta.
No, Nick, you're missing the whole point here. This is an important game for both teams. One team, Tampa Bay, fighting for a playoffs, or fighting to keep going strong in the playoffs. In Atlanta, the coveted top 5 pick. But I got Tampa winning this one 28-24 over Atlanta.
Okay, one of the best rivalries in football, the Green Bay Packers going up against the Chicago Bears. Unfortunately, nowadays, this rivalry kind of sucks. Packers win this one 38-24 over Chicago.
Yeah, I'm with you. I got Green Bay winning this one closer just because of Chicago's defense, and they are somehow, some way still fighting for a playoffs, but I don't know how. I don't know why. But I do got Green Bay winning this one 24-21 over Chicago.
All right, the Las Vegas Raiders going up against the Denver Broncos. Little importance here, 27-23. I have the Raiders beating the Broncos.
Yeah, this game's not that important. Both teams eliminated. I got Vegas winning this one 23-20 over Denver.
Okay, although the Colts are playing the Jaguars, some think the Colts are going to be the AFC team left out of the playoffs, as they need other teams to lose as well as win here. But I do think the Colts win this one 28-10 over Jacksonville.
Hey, Nick, how bold do you think I would be if I picked Jacksonville right now?
Please do it.
I won't. I'm picking Indy 26-6 over Jacksonville.
The Chiefs and the Chargers on Sunday. This is a tough one because Patrick Mahomes isn't playing, and we're not sure what other Kansas City Chiefs starters are playing. But I still do have the Kansas City Chiefs winning this one 30-17. I feel like the Chargers have lost to worse teams than the Chiefs backup squad. So
I should pick the Chiefs and keep going side with you, but this will be your fourth chance to get a point over me. I'm picking the Chargers 27-24 only because I don't think the Chiefs are really playing to win here, and I guess the Chargers are somewhat, maybe for pride.
So I actually had the Rams winning this one, and then me and Ben just kind of went back and forth and talked about all the Rams players that are injured this week that we didn't know about. Literally, the Rams need to win to make the playoff, and Goff is sitting out with a thumb injury. So I feel obligated, hello Ben's dogs, I feel obligated to pick the Arizona Cardinals 24-21 over the Rams.
Yeah, Goff's out. I think it's his throwing hand, too. Both their starting running backs are out. They're just decimated, which sucks because I think they could have had a chance. But I got Arizona 28-20 over the LA Rams, and Arizona, I think, with that win, makes the playoffs if they win.
All right, the Seattle Seahawks going up against the San Francisco 49ers, and easy one for me. I have the Seattle Seahawks winning this one 35-23 over San Francisco.
Yeah, I got Seattle. They're fighting. I think they also are in contention for the first round bye, but I could be wrong on that. But I got Seattle winning this one 26-14 over San Francisco.
All right, the New Orleans Saints going up against the Carolina Panthers this week. I have the Saints winning this one 32-23 over Carolina.
Yeah, I got the Saints. I'll talk more about it when it comes to my 2-point, but I got the Saints winning this one 32-27 over the Carolina Panthers.
All right, the Tennessee Titans going up against the Houston Texans this week. Another easy one for me. I have the Titans winning this one 38-14 over Houston.
Yeah, this one's easy. I got Tennessee winning this one 30-24 over Houston. Derrick Henry didn't do much against Green Bay, but it's also the Texans, and they're bad.
All right, and the perfect Sunday night game is the one that no matter what happens throughout the rest of the day, this game will matter for at least some teams. The Washington football team going up against the Philadelphia Eagles, and I have the Eagles just because I'm hanging on to hope. I have the Eagles winning this one 24-20 over Washington.
I got Washington winning this one over Philly only because Washington actually plays defense compared to Philly, but I do still like Jalen Hurts compared to whoever ends up being the quarterback for Washington. I don't know if Smith is in or not, but either way, I got Washington 26-21 over Philly.
All right, so our 2-point conversions were recorded, but Ben's 2-point conversion ended up getting screwed over by Alvin Kamara testing positive for the coronavirus. So Ben's 2-point is not going to happen no matter what. I'll just go ahead and say mine. My 2-point was that Tom Brady would throw for 4 touchdown passes against Atlanta. I can still get that. Ben, he had something to do with Alvin Kamara getting a certain amount of yards against Carolina. Unfortunately, Alvin Kamara will not be playing this weekend, so I am the only one who has a chance at the 2-point. Okay, moving on to some of the playoff scenarios for Week 17. We're going to do it a little different. We're not going to go team by team because there's a lot of teams that all kind of have the same scenario. So we start with the obvious one, the one that I think we're we don't need to talk about as much because it only involves 3 teams. The NFC East, I say easy because the scenarios are very straightforward here. It's the Washington football team, the New York Giants, and the Dallas Cowboys all still fighting for this NFC East. Philadelphia Eagles have already been eliminated. The Washington football team, they have the easiest route. All they have to do, they control their own destiny. They just have to win Sunday night against Philly. As for the Giants and Dallas, they play each other on Sunday at 1 o'clock, and the winner of that or the loser of that game is eliminated. The winner of that game has to hope that Washington loses, and they will be the NFC East champion. But Ben, given who the teams are playing this week, what we've seen all season, who has the best shot to win the NFC East? In my personal opinion, I think the team that deserves it the most, given the last couple weeks, is Dallas, just by the way that they've played. Both Washington and the Giants have played poorly the last couple weeks. Dallas has not. I do think, though, this just comes down to Sunday night. If Washington can just do enough to beat Philly, I think it's pretty easy that Washington wins this. But I do think the Giants have the worst shot.
Yeah, I'm with you. The Giants just, as of late, they just didn't. It was so weird. They played Seattle, and they looked like, and I know we talked about it off camera, but we talked about how, the Giants actually might win this. And then just ever since then, they got more injuries. Daniel Jones hasn't been consistent, whether it's because he's still injured or not. And I do think Dallas has the best chance to win it, but I think because Washington's playing Philly, even though there's question marks with their quarterback who's going to play, they have the most. I think they have the better chance because all they need to do is just win.
The Green Bay Packers, the New Orleans Saints, and the Seattle Seahawks, all of their divisions have been clinched. It's only the East that has not been finished. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the only wild card team to have clinched a playoff berth as well. So there are 2 wild card spots left open in the NFC East, and the teams fighting for those spots are the Arizona Cardinals, the Chicago Bears, the LA Rams.
That's it. It's just Chicago.
Oh, I did say
LA.
Arizona. Okay. Chicago, Arizona, and LA fighting for 2 spots. Arizona and LA play each other this week, so the winner of that game will automatically be in the playoffs as a wild card. The other team most likely eliminated unless Chicago is to lose 2, and then I think it just comes down to tiebreakers at that point. But the real important game is the Arizona Cardinals and LA Rams, and unfortunately for LA, a lot of players are injured.
I don't think Chicago gets in. Mainly because even if they weren't playing Green Bay, I just don't think they have enough to get in.
So actually, if Chicago does lose to Green Bay, LA is in no matter what happens to the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah.
So
the thing about the Arizona and LA game is whoever wins that is automatically in. But if Chicago loses, then both teams go in. So the weird thing is that both teams are fighting for a win, but they're also hoping that if they lose, Chicago loses as well.
Yeah, so in my opinion, I do think Green Bay beats Chicago. I do think both of these West teams get into the playoffs, and both deserving. I think
NFC West teams.
I do think both teams deserve it over Chicago as well. So
I agree.
Nothing too mad about that. The number 1 seed has also not been clinched in the NFC conference. That's the Green Bay Packers, the New Orleans Saints, and the Seattle Seahawks, all actually still fighting for that first round bye, the number 1 seed. Green Bay, the easiest shot to get it. They just have to win. Beat Chicago. They have the number 1 seed. A Seattle loss will also help with that situation. Seattle will get the first round bye if they win, but they will also need Green Bay and New Orleans to lose because New Orleans does hold themselves above Seattle. So if you were to put it 1, 2, 3 right now, it's kind of Green Bay, New Orleans, Seattle. So in order for New Orleans to get in, they need Green Bay to lose and Seattle to win, actually. So it's very, very, very weird scenarios here. But the bottom line is it all really just comes down to Green Bay. If Green Bay beats Chicago, which we all just kind of expect is going to happen, Green Bay will get that 1 seed. And then from there, I don't think it matters as much. For me, the difference between having the 2 and the 3 seed is playing Arizona or LA. And to me, those are pretty even teams to have to play.
Yeah,
so,
I agree.
Yeah.
I do think if you're Green Bay, you really are going to try and win because you want to make sure it goes through Lambeau. especially in the winter, especially in January when it's gonna be cold. It's gonna be playoff football. You want that if you're the Packers, but New Orleans, you're really it's weird because some teams are rooting for the Bears to win, such as New Orleans and Seattle, but then the Rams and the Cardinals are hoping that Chicago loses no matter what, so that they at least have that safety net that no matter what happens in their game, they still make it.
We move on to the AFC and look at who's already clinched. We also have 3 divisions that have been clinched. That is the East, the West, and the North, with the Bills, Chiefs, and Steelers all clinching their divisions. The AFC South has yet to be clinched, and all 3 wildcard spots have also yet to be clinched. And there are 4 teams fighting for those 3 spots. So let's look first at that division that has yet to be clinched. That is the AFC South. And this one's weird because it's the Tennessee Titans and the Indianapolis Colts fighting for this AFC South. And the loser, whoever doesn't win the South, isn't guaranteed a playoff spot. So these 2 teams could be fighting for a division or not making the playoffs at all, with a small chance that the loser makes a wild card. So the Tennessee Titans, they have the easiest path. So they clinch the AFC South division with a win or a Colts loss. In order to make sure that they get into the playoffs, they will need a Baltimore loss, a Miami loss, or a bunch of ties. So Tennessee can just simply win the AFC South with a win against Houston. I think that is very doable. For the Colts, they would need to win and Tennessee to lose against Houston. I mean, beating Jacksonville seems kind of obvious for Indy, but they will also need Tennessee to lose in order to get the South. Otherwise, that win will only maybe get them into the playoffs. They will still need either Baltimore, Cleveland, or Miami to lose. One of those 3 teams has to lose for Indy to get that playoff spot. So it's a tough one for Indy. Indy can win the South, or they can miss the playoffs all in the same week. Ben, what do you think happens here?
I think the easiest one is Tennessee. I think the easiest one is Tennessee because not even just because of a win and they're in, but even if they lose, all they need is just Baltimore, Miami to lose. Whereas the Colts need
or Cleveland,
everyone to lose, and that I think is a little harder for them. Even though they have the easier matchup, I guess, against Jacksonville compared to Tennessee and Houston, but I do think Tennessee has a better chance because they have an easier chance compared to the Colts.
All right, so speaking of those wild card spots, as mentioned, there are the 4 teams that are fighting for the AFC wild card. That is the Baltimore Ravens, the Cleveland Browns, the Indianapolis Colts, and the Miami Dolphins. All 4 are fighting for that spot, and 3 out of those 4, all they need to do is win, and they're in. The only one that cannot just win and get in is Indianapolis. They need help from one of the other 3 teams because the way the tiebreakers go, right now, all 4 teams are 10-5. So the way the tiebreakers go, if they're all to finish 11-5 or 10-6, Indy is in 4th place out of those 4 teams. Given who everybody is playing, I do think that one of these teams has a very good shot at losing. Miami plays Buffalo. Cleveland plays Pittsburgh. Baltimore probably has the easiest opponent with Cincinnati. But overall, very losable team. So I don't think Indy is quite out of it, but they do have the toughest road.
I think this would be a lot easier for Indianapolis if they won last week against Pittsburgh.
They had that game, too.
I don't know if they would have clinched the division at that point. I don't remember exactly, but I know they would have at least had a better chance in the playoffs. And that game between Pittsburgh and Cleveland would have been not only for a playoff spot, but also for the division. And I think they really shot themselves in the foot, but also kind of helped out that Tennessee also lost that week. So they kind of got almost like a revive at that point. But I think the game that I'm looking at is Buffalo and Miami because Miami is they looked so good in the middle of the season, and they kind of felt not really fell off, but didn't look as impressive, and then they got really lucky with the Raiders with that face mask penalty and pass by Fitzpatrick, Fitzmagic. But I think the AFC wildcard race is a lot more interesting than the NFC one.
Okay, and that is actually it for the AFC because the Kansas City Chiefs have already clinched the first round bye in the 1 seed. It's going to be a absolutely crazy Week 17. I love this kind of football where there's all these scenarios, and it feels like that meme with what's the actor's name? Charlie Day or something like that. With the map, and he's going nuts. It's crazy.
Oh yeah.
This kind of football is the absolute best. Once again, the last time I am going to say the score until we hit the Super Bowl. So relish in this moment. It is 162 to 159. We had 5 differing picks this week. We also have 2-point conversions that can help a lot as well. So 7 total points can be swung either way. I could be down by 10, I could be up by 4, or anywhere in between. But, Ben, is there anything you want to say before we head out?
Hopefully 2021's better than 2020.
Also, guys,
that's all I got, really.
We are recording this on December 31st. It'll be uploaded. It'll probably be my second video of the new year. I do plan on posting an Among Us video tomorrow, but as I'm recording this, the new year has not happened yet. So I will take this opportunity to wish everybody a happy new year. Yes, I do hope 2021 is so much better than 2020 for so many people. And I just want this fucking virus to be over. But on top of that, I appreciate everybody who has stuck through the entire regular season of our picks. I honestly, when I first started this, I was also first starting the channel, and I probably started maybe like 5 or 6 series, and this is the only series that is still going. So I'm pretty proud and glad that we've managed to keep up with this series, and week after week I've had Ben here, and we've been able to get these picks grinded out and uploaded on Thursday or Sunday if I have to or whatever. But it's been a great regular season, a great regular season of football, a weird regular season of football with Corona, but overall I have been happy with it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a great new year. Have a great 2021. Peace.
Bye.